Got 'em in Wyoming, Montana's got its best. Seen 'em here in other places, out here in the West. Roping cows and branding calves, riding buck and bronze. It's a real joy to see a real cowboy, even in the honky tonks. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, riding the range. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, I hope that you don't change. Cowboy breed is fading, it's nearly gone for good. Urban nights and drugstores and the ones from Hollywood. If they really knew the way it was, they'd surely change their ways. 'Cause there ain't no stopping a real cowboy, just like the good old days. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, no room for fame. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, nobody knows your name. Now I've told my story, I hope you understand that a real cowboy is the real McCoy, and we all think he's grand. Rest of you I've spoken of, don't even try to see you try to be something you ain't. Well, it just makes me cry. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, riding the range. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, nobody knows your name. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, riding the range. Whoopie-tie, old cowboy, you're trying your last day.
Drop your pants next to the bed, that's just what the woman said. The look upon her face was mighty boy. Drop your drawers and stay a while, she said calmly with a smile. Told her I was not that kind of boy. I was just a boy of teens, it was yesterday it seems. Walking down the street after a dance, by the corner stood a girl with her hair all up in curls. Her motion to me wasn't hard to grasp. Well, she had things I'd never seen, and Lord knows I was pretty green. She motioned me to follow her sweet path. She said, honey, come upstairs. I knelt and said my prayers. As I closed the door, here's what she said to me.
Come here, you sweet thing.
Drop your pants next to the bed, that's just what the woman said. The look upon her face was mighty coy. Drop your drawers and stay a while, she said calmly with a smile. Told her I was not that kind of boy. Well, I knew not what to do, so I just removed my shoes. After all, I didn't know her well. I was nervous as could be, but she smiled so patiently. The room was cool, but I was hot as hell. Drop your pants next to the bed, that's just what the woman said. The look upon her face was mighty coy. Drop your drawers and stay a while, she said calmly with a smile. Told her I was not that kind of boy. Morning lifted up my eyes, across my fingers gave a sigh. All at once came someone to the door. A voice pounded at the air, I know my daughter's in there, she said calmly as my bare feet hit the floor. Drop your pants next to the bed. That's just what the woman said. Look upon her face was mighty. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
And there we have it. It must be time to get this show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
All right, it is episode 15 of Plugin Pulse, WP Plugins A to Z Unplugged. Today's dashboard invasion, unwanted menus from plugin hell. Off we go. WordPress, the king of content management systems, powering the web with over 80,000 plugins to choose from. How do you sort the junk from the gems? Welcome to WP Plugins A to Z, where we've been keeping the pulse of WordPress alive for over 16 incredible years. Join us every week for an unrehearsed, real talk breakdowns of the latest and greatest plugins, developer and community member interviews. Some weeks, Amber and I team up to dig in. Others, I'm flying solo, unpacking WordPress news, demoing a standout plugin, or sharing tips to power up your site. No scripts, no fluff, just the good stuff from A to Z. So plug in and let's get rolling. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the other brewery overlooking beautiful southern Vancouver Island. I'm John Overall, and I'm flying all solo today because Amber's off this week, but she should be back next week for another great show. And as we expand out the show and expand out the menus and expand out the content, the other show, little by little, it's getting better and deeper and more. And I have another tidbit of information a little further down in the show. Not too much other than that. Just a reminder real quick for those that listen here on YouTube, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I got to remind people. Trying to get some, love from YouTube, and those are the things I hear get me to love. Not overly concerned about it, but hey, it helps. Also, reminder, every Monday at about noon, we go live with a show. Either it's me, an interview, or with Amber. Haven't had interviews in a while. Nobody seems to want to book them, but so be it. All right, and today we've got a whole wide array of things to just dig in and talk about. And this week here, we're going to be talking about, miscellaneous things. First off, some good old-fashioned WordPress drama that everyone enjoys so much. They pretend they don't, but when it comes time to it, they do. This is an article out by Katie Barnes over at Barn2 talking about Iconic and Liquid Web, another hit from them. They have taken Iconic off, either blended in their plugins or taken a few of them completely out. They've been completely discontinued or absorbed into the Cadence Store Kit. And Katie's got this great guide here if you're looking for alternatives to the plugins that you used to use. She's got a nice list of what Barn2 offers as alternatives to those plugins to get what you need done. That being an alternative to WooCommerce swatches alternative, attribute swatches, product configurator alternative, and more. It's a really good article. It's got some really great stuff. You can find her over on X. Link is in the show notes for all of these things here. Go over there and give her some love. Now, we had another new piece of drama come in, and this is not related to the WordPress 7 update, but this has been around a while, but I think it's just getting noticed. I've seen it a couple of times with different plugins that have multiple plugins, and basically what it is it's a vanity filter for your plugins area on a dashboard. Somebody picked it up because Yoast is one of the first, and if there's a way to put more stuff in your face, Yoast finds it and then they use it to no end. So just so you know, but never mind. I'm not even going to try. Sorry about that, Marco. Didn't mean to butcher your name there. He kicked off a Lively X thread spotting what he calls the vanity filters, and I've seen these before. I need to get more into texting stuff. I'm not overly good at that. But anyway, it's a really good discussion in and around it. And there's an active WordPress.org support thread talking about this. And that link doesn't take me to the support thread. I thought it did. My bad. I'll have to hunt that down. Now, this discussion pulled in multiple people. AJ D'Souza, Danny Von Kooten, Cyber Wajier of the SEO framework. Many devs voiced concern that one big plugin is pushing the limits. Well, multiple plugin authors are pushing these limits. I think I saw it with Elementor once. I'd have to pay attention. I use a lot of Elementor plugins, but there's a lot of different ones that bring this in. So it's a bit of a pain, but in the same vein, if you use those plugins and you need to manage those plugins, it's kind of nice to just click the link and it just shows those two plugins instead of having to do a search. The big problem, of course, is going to be as more and more developers do that, and you have more and more developers where you're using multiple plugins, that you're going to crowd out that bar. I mean, it's already crowded with all active, inactive, recently active, must use, auto updates disabled, et cetera, all the different things that get put in there for your information. So if you've got multiple plugins from multiple authors and they start doing this, it's going to make a more of a mess of that particular part of your dashboard. But, that's not the biggest irritant to me. As the biggest irritant to me is all the reminders and the pop-ups and the reminders that I've dismissed every 2 weeks. It's like, no, go away, go away, go away. Yeah, okay. All those ones there are more of an irritant to me. So what else have we got going on here? That's because it hasn't changed like it was supposed to. And that's because I didn't get into the browser. That would be my bad. Problem of too many things at once. I get focused in one area and on another one. And Burnett, how are you doing? Yeah, it's a happy Monday again. All right. Well, now you guys can see what we've got going here. There we go. As I was trying to showcase this stuff. That was it. I was trying to showcase all this stuff so all the people on YouTube could see it prettily, and it still didn't transition. See, I made that change, and I thought I made the preview change over here to the browser. There you go. Now it looks like it's supposed to. All right. The last little bit I was talking about. Well, I've only covered two quick things, so let's revamp them real quick. So say for the folks over there on YouTube to see is go check out the article here from Katie Barnes. It's a really good article, and then talking about the vanity filters, which we were just talking about, and this one here. All right. Good thing I have someone pinging me on my phone to tell me what I'm doing wrong along the way. All right. Let's go talk about a couple of general WordPress news and items. For those of you who are living under a WordPress rock somewhere and you don't know, WordPress 7 is out, has dropped. I personally have only updated it on a couple of key test sites that I put it on first to make sure nothing's going to break or cause irritants along the way. So far, so good. Keep knocking on wood. WP Beginner, though, has been kind enough to produce an article for us that showcases all of the changes in WordPress 7 with features and screenshots. And there's quite a few features and changes in WordPress 7. Most of them, for those that are using Gutenberg, unfortunately I don't, but most everything seems to revolve around Gutenberg and all the things you can do with Gutenberg and the block editor. So they've added things, but they have added something. The biggest one that made the biggest waves was the connection of the WordPress to AI via the new connection screen. I haven't looked at that. I won't be connecting an AI to have access to my WordPress anyway. I use AI in alternate methods, difference than others. The refreshed admin experience, well, I talked about that in last week's show with Amber and provided code for everyone to help them along the way of the refreshed experience with the eye burning purple and the eye burning white that they used for the new font colors and font changes. Customizable navigation overlays, the new blocks icons. The other big one that has been made mention of once or twice is the using the shortcut. Where's it at? There it is. Oh, they've also got a thing, shortcut keyboard K, so you can do a quick search inside your dashboard. This is reminiscent of a plugin we covered a few months ago with a dashboard navigator for searching for things in your dashboard. This can be a very good useful feature, especially if you get a dashboard such as some that I end up building that have a very long list of things that are not alphabetized, and you get lost remembering where each one is. So this is a very useful feature in here. The smarter visual revisions, which is a side-by-side revisions, that used to be there once upon a time. I don't know. I've never used the Gutenberg revisions, so I don't know, but this used to be standard fare in WordPress. Somewhere along the line it got removed. I guess they decided to put it back. The customizable navigational overlays. The better pattern editing for those using patterns and blocks. Again, I have no clue how those work because I use Elementor in all my building out of websites and templates. The gallery lightbox navigation. Now that one there, I saw that and I went, what, wait, seriously? You mean the gallery pop-up, the lightbox pop-up never had navigation? Okay. That's a weird one to me, but okay. Congratulations for Gutenberg. How long's it been out? 7 years? Congratulations. It took 7 years to add this function. Woohoo! Here's to the people running Gutenberg. Well, enough about that. A little bit of coffee, and we shall move along here and talk about, I do have a plugin for review this week. And since I get to use that sound here, I will use that sound here. There you go. All right. The plugin I've got for this week here is WP Buoy Endpoint Manager. Okay, somebody has broken all my links. There we go. All right. Broken one of my links anyway. All right, the WP Buoy Endpoint Manager. This is a plugin that I discovered because, yes, I read Reddit. I found it over here on Reddit. I guess that's a good place to promote yourself for people to find you. I found it over on Reddit and decided to follow it and check it out. I see a lot of plugins through Reddit. And I'm working hard to make sure that wherever I find it, I give credit to where I find it so that the developer, if they come check this out, they'll find out where I found out about their plugin since they didn't send it to me. So, WP Buoy Endpoint Manager. What is it? It was like, okay, what does it do? Well, this one here, it helps you manage all the API endpoints in your website for all of the plugins. It seems most plugins, if not all of them, create endpoints, API endpoints. And some of them you might not need, or they might not need permission to access those endpoints. Well, what this plugin does for you is it allows you to go in there and block those plugins and turn them off. Turn off the ones that don't need access. You know, maybe it'll help your site run faster, maybe it won't, but I don't know. I've experimented with this over on my dev site. No, I don't want to do that for you. No. What are you doing, phone? No, I'm not registering my voice, and you're not going to get a wake up on my voice. I looked over and my phone blinked out, and it suddenly popped up and said, "Teach me to register your voice on wake up." And I was like, no, go away. Technology, it's so fun until it's not. All right. So back to WP Buoy. It helps you manage all these endpoints, find out all the endpoints. And on my dev site, my practice sandbox that I think I've got 165 plugins installed now and about 75 active as I keep turning things on and off and playing. There's a lot of endpoints in there that didn't make sense, and it's not something I fully understand yet, but it is something I'm going to dig into a little deeper to get a better understanding of, and to use something like this plugin here to help me manage websites. And especially I'll be experimenting with websites that are running a little on the slower side and see if removing these unnecessary endpoints will help improve the plugin. So this is a really cool plugin. It's nice and free. He does have a premium version that allows you to, what's its premium version? There we go, pro version. We'll go over there and check that one out real quick. The pro version allows you to take it to another level. And where is it? Learn more. You can rate limit and block plugins. You know, so you can rate limit the endpoints. So if an endpoint is being abused, you can rate limit it. You can auto block an endpoint with X number of hits. You can also set a white label IPs to those endpoints. So that's the extensions of it. But at this point in the plugin, I think it's quite useful and very valuable for those working on websites. So go check this one out. It's WP Buoy Endpoint Manager, and I give it a 5 Dragon rating. There you go. Okay, we're going to move along here to dealing with, here, this is a good sound for this. SEO stuff. I have some SEO stuff this week. In particular, it's revolving around the LLMS.txt protocols and Google's massive changes that are coming down the pike. Again, another article I pulled off of Reddit. And what this is, this Reddit thread here is becoming pretty popular. It also threads off to other places. Google's making waves with their AI overview, delivering the complete answers directly in the search results and keeping you within that. And they've announced something, I had it in my head and I didn't write enough of it down, but they've announced they're going to have people doing their search functions more and more in through the AI overview block instead of through the usual search, and trying to, well, mostly getting away from the blue links, as I heard the term called a few times. So this one's going to be interesting. Now, the discussion on here is kind of split in different opinions. Some of the veteran SEOs, which I'm probably one of them areas there, it's not the end, but you need to pivot. And while you need to write your content for humans, as you always have, that's always been the way to beat the SEO over the last, how long have I been doing this? 26 years? 27 years. 27 years since Google came on the scene. And if you write for SEO, you'll have times where you won't show, but then as soon as they make the corrections, you'll be back on top again. It's like a roller coaster. And I think the same thing is going to happen here through this SEO part here, this major change in Google. It's going to impact some more than others. It's going to cause people to learn to write more and better and complete answers into their website with references inside the answers to get back to the website. That's one of the keys I see, because if they're pulling content from your site, you need to make sure that you're telling people to go back to your website for the full content. And I don't know if they're going to provide links, which is the irritating part, but maybe if people are serious about digging the answer from the source, they'll come and visit you. So these things there are getting more important. The more we have AI, the more it overtakes, and, well, it doesn't overtake, it complements and it complicates more areas of technology. And some of the stuff I've seen about AI is that companies are blowing through their budgets now as AI starts to charge a realistic pricing for the usage of AI. And also they're finding that it's the information or the code or the text or whatever they're getting from the AIs, it still needs a human to go over it to make sure it's correct in ways. I don't know. I don't think it'll be any time soon that the AIs will have the ability to produce out the same perfect content as humans. All right, so another item we've got here, and this is about the LLMS text file. This was from a thread over on X that Chris Long put in there. In Google Chrome, for their Lighthouse, is now checking for the presence of the LMS text file. Now, back when it first came out, and I touted it and even forked a plugin to enhance it, people poo-pawed me, and I went, no, it's going to do exactly the same route that the robots text file did. I don't know how many people can remember back to the days of the introduction of the robots text file. It didn't start to take off until Google adopted it. Well, it looks like Google is adopting the LMS text file. Now, there's another component in here that I found out about that I seem to have missed in all my research, and it's starting to make headways. I guess it didn't really come out until middle to late last year, and that's the LLMS-full.txt file. This one's a little different, and they can both live together, and they both provide two separate paths for AIs to view your website. The LMS text file provides the path of a listing of links of your site for it to go follow. Now, those links can be in either HTML, your regular format, or in MD format. The plugin I wrote creates that list in MD format for people to use. Now, the thing I've just worked on and added to my plugin, I haven't fully released it yet because I managed to break something along the way. Now I got to unbreak it. Is that I added it to automatically produce an LLMS-full text file. I got to say that slower. I trip right over it. And what that file does is you can target it for a multitude of pages or for individual pages, and it produces a full markdown content of that page. And what this information is being used by AIs, the way I understand it, is it's being used by AIs to help the AIs get a full comprehensive understanding of your site and your expertise, and to use you for what we discussed earlier, and that is in the AI overviews, so that it's more precise. And it doesn't have to wade through all of your Java code, your HTML code, your CSS code to get to the meat, because the AIs don't need all of that. They want your content. They don't want all the stuff that makes your content look pretty. So anyway, that one there is interesting. And we've got another thread here from SEMrush on the LMS text file. They're talking about as it's a proposed standard. Well, it is a proposed standard, but it is becoming adopted more quickly than people are willing to accept. Now, a lot of people are still, maybe, but you know, it only takes a moment. You can either manually create it or you can add it. Now, if you use Yoast or use Rank Math or several other SEO plugins, they've got a little toggle to turn on and it creates an LMS text file automatically for you. Though not a very good one, it's still better than nothing in my personal opinion. So this is something to be aware of if you're paying attention to your SEO, your AI overviews, your citations in AI, and more. AI uses tool calls. Well, hi Cyber 6259. AI uses tool calls to crawl web pages. Those tools can be configured to convert the response to AI readable format. The site doesn't need to do that early and needlessly. Yes and no. You're right, it doesn't need to, and yes, this can be done, and I don't know what tool calls is, so I will have to dig into that and find out more. Thank you very much. I will keep that for research for later and give me something else new to add. Let me grab that information while I'm thinking about it and put that over here where I will put it into my notes for a later management of it. There we go. All right. Thank you, Cyber6259. I appreciate that. All right. So that's a bit about that. Now, we do have a couple of AI, one item for AI. This one here comes from Ryan over at Pine Digital. And he's given us some useful information here about generate website markdown, or Elementor's generate website markdown. I hadn't even been aware that Elementor added this to it. They added a toggle you can turn on so it will generate markdown during the negotiation phase. He talked about it a bit. He went on to use WP SEO Press, their agent readiness settings, and there's more. This is a whole new area also that I'm just beginning to dig into. He did give a link off to a site that you can run your URL against and see if your site is agent ready. And it does do a pretty thorough job of telling you what you need and what you don't need. So go check this one out and see what you can do with the sites that you want to manage to keep this going along. So, all right. Okay, this is the point where, What do I got for this? There we go. I think I can use this. There you go.
It's time to donate to WP Plugins. A to Z.
Yeah, I can still use that here. That'll give me a nice big drink of coffee from it all. All right, this is where I talk about this show being a value for value model. And I want to make mention, a special quick mention of a secondary podcast that I had done for years, and then it went on hiatus for a couple of years, and I am reviving it. It is Tavern Talk over at theroguesoasis.com. The first episode is mostly up. I've got a lot of tweaking and fixing to do on the website there to get it back to going. The page is kind of ugly at the moment, but the initial podcast is there for people to review and listen to. It hasn't yet been released to the podcast feeds, as I've got to work on some glitches in the system because I've done some serious customization to this website. So anyway, go check it out. This show will be live to tape every Sunday at 7. It will not be aired on YouTube because the topics in this are tavern topics, where people sit down and talk politics and talk the world reviews, talk religion, talk whatever we want. I will also have this one like I do this show currently, where if you want to join me on this show, you can always go to the Listen Live page and go click the link at the top of the page and join the Google Meet. I keep that live here if anyone ever wants to join me live to place their voice into the show. But that'll also be happening over at the Tavern podcast. And I just wanted to put that one out there, and that one there will be live to tape. And what I mean live to tape there, the podcast will go out normally to the feeds, but the video itself will only be delivered to my website. It'll be protected in a behind a firewall that the website can only access. So if people want to see the stuff that people are talking about. Other bits and pieces about this show and its value for value, well, we take time, talent, or treasure to help support this show. And with time, what you can do for time is get out there, plug people in, tell them about the show, and just get us to tell them about the show and let them know that we exist. Tell more people about it. And at the moment, we don't have much else for time unless you want to donate your time and your artwork, which these ones combine together, time and talent. You know, your talent can be learning how to prompt the AI for really cool artwork, and it gets displayed in our art gallery. You can quickly submit your artwork on the donate your artwork page, create a title, a description, upload an image, and if you're so inclined, you can go upload a quick video of that artwork too, and that video will display up on the main page with it, along with a story to go with your artwork. So that's a way to, spread it around. Leave a link or two. If the link is pretty valid, I'll leave it in there, Don't try to spam it, but hey, get a link back from WPPluginsAtoZ.com. The other way you can help us out is by donations with your treasure. You can simply go to the treasure donate to the show, set an amount, any number that is meaningful to you from 1 to a billion. Yeah, I keep raising that. I started with several thousand, millions. Anything. We'll take anything. If any information we give you from this show saves you time, makes you money, maybe consider giving some of that time and money back, or not the time. Give back some of that extra money you made because of some savings that we provided for you. Just put any amount in there. $11 is a good number. 33 is a fantastic number. Leave us a note. Send it off to PayPal through PayPal. We'll get the note, we'll get the money, and we will give you full credit in the show at this particular point in the show, where we will read out any show notes we get with any donations we get. Currently, any donations. Till we get overwhelmed with donations, then we'll have to start setting a minimum limit. But other than that, come support the show. Time, talent, or treasure. Get out there and plug people in the mouth. And while you're at it, all those people listening on YouTube, hit that like button, just a reminder to encourage other people that, hey, you've listened this long, so at least something of interest has caught you. All right. We have some more. A little bit more content, not too much, just a couple more pieces. All right, got some security stuff this week. Now, this one here, PatchStack SEO, PatchStack CEO is warning WordPress 7 could trigger a rush to steal API keys. Now, this will be a new reason for WordPress websites to get hacked. I hadn't even considered that until I read this. And what it means is if people are storing their API keys in their WordPress, their AI API keys, which are fairly valuable, because if you got an AI API key, you've got instant access to the AI for whatever account that's for. You know, this is something that needs to be protected. You know, while in the past, WordPress websites were hacked for spam, redirects, botnets, the stolen API keys, well, it suggested that they can sell for serious money on the dark web and can be used for expensive token max vulnerability research at the victim's expense. So this is a really key thing. You really want to pay attention to the protections of your website if you're dumping AI keys, API keys, into WordPress's connector. So this is going to be a really big thing to pay attention to, and we'll kind of monitor this as time goes on. And it is one of those things, and it does tie into the dashboard invasion that we have had in WordPress as we continue moving along. Now, the other item I've got here is another useful coding tip. Got too many tabs open. I'm going to close some of them down. Start closing down tabs. I try to remember to do it as I go, but sometimes they just get overwhelmed. All right. We have a coding tip this week. This is for those of you that hate nag screens as much as I do. And if you're using Elementor, this is specific for those that are using Elementor. And yeah, you'll hear a lot of Elementor specific coding tips from me because that's what I use in my development of websites. Yeah. This one here is how to remove the AI and nag banners from the editor window. I've snagged this little snippet of code, and it's in the show notes. Make it real easy for you. Just copy and paste it. Or you can follow the link and go to Reddit and get it. Once you insert it into your functions PHP file for a child theme, it will remove those AI nag notices. Hey, try out this, try out that, try out this. It's actually kind of nice. It's a really useful, nice little tidbit. Okay, and I know he missed it the week before, a couple of weeks ago, but we've got it again here for Well Played. Marcus Burnett, and that is talking about the Well Played plugins. Yeah, you're here in the show today, Marcus. I see you there now. Okay. This is the Well Played membership plan. He's got 24 plugins on the site. You pay one membership fee, you gain access to all the plugins. I'm not sure what they all do. I haven't looked at them all, but it does look like a pretty good deal. He's got the admin bartender. That one sounds like it'd be kind of cool. What's it do? Global default behavior for admin bar items. And then set it, always shown, move them. Oh, cool. That's for turning on and off the crap at the top. That might be useful. All right, it's got font awesome dash icons, image optimize, landing page countdown, markdown block editors, WP Lifeline, Smart Redirect Manager, just a whole bunch of really great plugins. His cost for it is, what's the membership plans? It's a 10 site license is $245 a year. So if you got 10 sites, it might be valuable enough for you. If you're managing 10 different websites, you got clients paying you for this. That's a good way to go. For a single site for yourself, $45, not bad. Not a bad price for it. So go check it out. It's a pretty cool item. Links are in my show notes in case you want to get over there and level yourself up and gain the instant access to the plugins. So they're built for WordPress builders. All right, that's our featured promotion. And like I said, every episode I'm going to try to bring in a different premium system of some sort that needs to be featured just because I either never heard of it or I stumbled across it by accident or saw it somewhere in a post and I thought, yeah, that's kind of cool, and I bring it over. So I'm trying to do that every single episode. All right, we don't have much else. I think we're coming right to the wrap of it now. A reminder of interviews for the show. We do have interview dates available now for July and August. And I've turned off the ability for interviews in June because nobody booked them, so I don't want to have it confuse my month by having them suddenly appear. I need these, for people that don't understand, I need these a couple of weeks in advance because I have research to do. I have to figure out who you are, what you're doing, figure out what you're hiding on the internet, what little secrets can I expose by digging deep into the internet, and then just have fun. So anyway, I do have to do research on what I'm going to do, and it takes time. An interview probably takes me 3 times as long as doing a regular show. So if you want to be on this show, I'm more than happy to have you. You got to book the interviews out. We've got July and August available now. We've got July 13th and 27th, and August 10th and 24th are available for booking. So book them up, and we will see you in the show. All right. And the final little tidbit is the little links at the bottom here, which other shows and places to get more WordPress info and training. This week's one, it's going to be WP Mayor. Why not? WP Mayor gets the click this week, and he's got a great website with lots of great videos and training videos and more. Oh, you're welcome, Marcus. Always happy to mention people anywhere I can. The idea is to get more people exposed to the content of WordPress. And also the comment on Cyber6529 made a comment. Agents use tools, little programs to do work, so it doesn't have to guess, such as a calculator. It won't say 2 + 2 = 5, but it'll offload that calculation to the tool, which is accurate and fast. Okay. I got to wrap my head around this stuff, Cyber. I can be slow at grasping concepts, but once I do, and if I really grasp onto them, I grasp onto them like a tick. You know, I just won't let go. So, at any rate, that pretty much wraps us up. I want to thank everyone for showing up to the show. It was a pretty decent one. Actually, more decent than I thought, considering looking at the time for the recording. And that would be... There we go. There's what I was looking for. Picking all the really cool stuff. Okay, now I need to pick the cool stuff and then make it switch. That's where my problem was. I'm picking them, looking into my preview window, and I'm forgetting that I have the programming window. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you all. I greatly appreciate the time you got here. Now for a little bit of music to carry us on out of here. Oh, wait a sec. I got to play the end credits. Let my girl take us on out of here. She needs to close up some things.
Reminders for the show. All the show notes can be found at wppluginsa2z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by you, the developers, because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsa2z.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show through your favorite podcast app. You can also watch the show live on YouTube at WP Plugins A to Z, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. You can also follow the show on X at WP Plugins A to Z. John can be reached directly through the website wpproatoz.com or email him at john@wppro.ca. Amber can also be contacted through the website at wpproatoz.com or email her directly, amber@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
All right, now a little music to close it on down.
claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In the search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine? Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In our search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at a crossroads, joker's doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Alrighty, folks, that's all.
Oh my god, that is amazing!
Oh no. Obviously we just lost the satellite feed.